So after grades are rolled at the end of the term, batch processing your official transcripts needs to be done a little differently to ensure that you release the requests that had hold for grades. Now remember, you only have to run this process if your college is still using the SSB official transcript link, or if your college is allowing a manual transcript request to be entered. If all of your requests are going through the National Student House e-transcript link, you do not have to run this process because they're going to automatically process those transcripts. Prior to watching this video, please view the video for batch processing official transcripts, because that video is going to show you how to figure out what delivery method your college is using and the sequence that you're going to have to use to run your transcripts. So please, if you have not watched the batch processing official transcript video, please stop this video now, go and watch that one, then come back and watch this one. When you get to this point, you still have to follow the same method and the same sequence. They have to be ran in this sequence. And if you run them out of sequence, you're going to have transcripts that are going to print inappropriately. So you have to do your paper request via SSB pickup first. And then after that, do paper request via SSB delivery method pick, hold for grades, yes. And then you would do paper request via SSB, delivery method USPS, and then USPS hold for grades, and then priority hold for grades. So you'll see from the other video, you had the same sequence, but now you have to add in that pick, hold for grades equals yes. And that's a parameter on SHRTRTC. So I'm just going to demonstrate that for you real quick. So you know when you're batch printing a transcript, you go to SHRTRTC, and this is only used if y'all using the SSB official transcript link or allowing end users to manually enter official transcript requests. So when you get to SHRTRTC, you would select go in the upper right-hand corner. And then you have three sections that appear. You have printer control, parameter values, and your submission. So you know you're going to have to pick your printer, enter the printer that you all use to process transcripts. Then you put in your special print template. Do not forget to put in your special print template, or your transcripts will print inappropriately, and you'll have to manually enter all of those orders and reprint them again. There are a lot of parameters that you have to enter in when you're running SHRTRTC. But you should be familiar with these, especially if you've been entering in your request throughout the semester. This should not be the first time that you're processing official transcript requests. You've probably been processing them all semester, so you know the parameters you're going to enter. And there's only one parameter that's actually going to change. So parameter number 1 is in, and this is in the workbook step by step. So you can go back to the workbook if you need to. Parameter number 2 is percent. Parameter number 3 is EXTL. Parameter number 4 is percent. Parameter number 5 is today's date, so you can manually enter it. You can use the calendar, or you can put uppercase T and hit enter. Because you've been running this all semester long, you're going to have more than one row for 06 because you've already inserted these rows. So you know that you would enter in 1 MA, 2 PR, 3 EM, and 4 LO. One time someone asked me, does the number have anything to do with the code? And the answer is no. You just have to put a number before the code. I could have put 2 EM and 3 PR. It doesn't matter. Just each row has to have a number in front of it, and the number has to be unique for that new one. Official transcript is yes. Campus selection identifier is no. 10 is no. 11 is no. 12 is no. 13 is 60. 15 is 5. And 16, this is where the parameter changes, because all semester long you've been printing transcripts, but you've been entering no for waiting for grades. But now that grades have been rolled, you want any request that was submitted or entered and had the hold for grade indicator selected to now process. So now this parameter would be yes. Parameter 17 would be no. Parameter 18, that depends on which one you're printing. So if you actually have the delivery method of pick, where you allow students to pick it up, then that would be the first one I would run. If you don't allow that and you allow USPS, then I would use USPS. If you don't do any of these and you're only doing the manually entered, you would leave that field null. So this 18 would be null if it was a paper request manually entered by an end user. But if it came from the SSB official transcript link, you would have to put the delivery method chosen by the student. Remember, you have to run them in this order. So if you use pick, you do pick first. If you do USPS, you do UPS first. If you do priority, you do priority first. And also remember, when you're running it at this time of the semester, you do paper request via SSB. That deliver for grades would still be no, and you would run pick. Then you come right back around and you would say yes and for hold for grades and pick. So we're going to pretend I already ran it where I said no for hold for grades and this was pick. So this time now I'm doing it yes for hold for grades, release for grades, and I'm going to do pick. Then number 20 is no, and number 21 and 22 are 40. Then you perform a next section, and then you select save. Save in the lower right hand corner. So the thing with this is you've been running it all semester long, but now you have to embed within your sequence, you have to embed, okay, I'm going to run it for pick, and then I'm going to run it for pick, hold for grades. And then I'm going to run it for USPS, and then I'm going to run it for USPS, hold for grades. Then I'm going to run it for PRTY, and then I'm going to run it for PRTY, hold for grades. So you're running the same sequence, but you're embedding the additional run for each area or each delivery method where you're putting hold for grades equals yes. So once again, when you're looking at the values and the fields, hold for grades is number 16. So when you run it the first run for that delivery method type, you leave this no. When you run it the second time for that delivery method, you change this to yes. And that'll release any request that you have on SHARQT where the hold for grades icon was selected when the request was submitted.